Oh my gosh, I got it okay, yeah, I got it the first try. I got it the first try, I won. Oh my gosh, I didn't even get a guilty verdict. I didn't even get a penalty after ending that. My gosh, that's amazing, actually. I did the freaking crime photo? Actually, I kind of understand why. I did actually give this some thought before going. It was like, you know, maybe presenting that was a little bit premature. Like, maybe I was supposed to be like, oh, the photo or something. Because I looked at the photo more closely. Like, oh, he's writing in a book, presumably the diary or whatever. And there's a page ripped out you can see right there. So it's like, maybe that will tell us everything we need to know, huh? Yeah, I think so. I do think so. Anyway, though, yeah, I don't know. That was my basically my logic behind it anyway. So, you know, the crime scene tells all, Your Honor. Does it now? Does it really know? I meant to press B, not A, but you know, same thing, right? A photo of the crime scene. All this talk of color has me yearning for black and white, clear-cut simplicity. Tell us here, Wright. Just where is the contradiction in this photo? My pleasure. And I assure you, it's quite simple. But I can't promise anything in black and white. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What in this photo contradicts the witness's testimony? Wait, so I have to think further about this? I mean, is it really the book that I'm thinking of here, or did he find, like, I did kind of wonder about this. Like, I was wondering, like, maybe this was another gunshot, but maybe that's like, oh, it was turned off or something? I was like, I kind of wonder about that, but how close is that to his bed? Would he have been able to reach back there and turn it off? I mean, assuming that is even off to begin with. I mean, how do we know that exactly? How exactly do we know that? You know, I'm shoot! You know, it's one thing to know the photo is the answer. It's another thing to know what you're actually really trying to contradict here. So let's try to think this one through again. We're looking at the IV, right? So what contradicts? Is it it can't be the thing itself, right? Presumably. So this is probably either the book or the machine. I get 2 chances at this. Why not? Let's try the machine first. I hope that's right. Fallon Grimari, let's get one thing straight about your lucky color. It's yellow, yes? Kind of takes the mystery out of it, but yes! Something wrong with yellow, Mr. Wright? Yes, there is. Decisively wrong, in fact. Take another look at the photo of the crime scene. What's this? Confusion! Doubt! Tell us, what do your elderly eyes spy? Even my elderly eyes can see a problem here, Mr. Valent. Look at that IV bag. Ack! What is this? What foul magic? It would be hard to call this the IV liquid yellow. And I'm afraid no magic was involved in the taking of this photograph. Allakazoooooooooomg! Order! 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 I don't feel like I'm doing my judge voice right now. At least not the order part, anyway. What does this mean? I don't feel like I'm doing the right... Like I said, the last half of last episode, I'm kind of sick still. My throat's a little bit off right now, but... I don't know. I feel like I'm doing the judge voice right, but the order part seems like it's coming out wrong. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Objection! Maybe you guys don't even notice. Maybe I just pointed out for no reason. This is some kind of mistake. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin. Your witness's mistake. ... The greener they are, the harder they fall. I suppose there's no substitute for experience. Found Grimari, as you reminded us several times. Your lucky color is yellow, but the IV is clearly not. Well... This contradiction can mean only one thing! And to think, you almost had me. ... I see your colors now, Ace Attorney Phoenix Wright. Something you'd like to tell us, Prosecutor Gavin? As far as the court can tell, the witness's testimony does contradict the evidence. Ha ha ha. Yes, contradiction. One that I shall be pleased to hand right back to Mr. Wright. How do you mean? How? Because the witness has made no mistakes. I agree, at a glance the IV liquid does appear sort of greenish-yellow, but I assure you, the liquid itself is quite yellow. Yellow liquid? How can you say that? As far as I can tell from this photo, it's green. Yes, but what color is the IV bag itself? A bag? You mean the plastic bag on the hook? It looks like a... I want to say light blue. Precisely. Figured it out yet? Put the yellow liquid in a blue bag and... you get green. This, incidentally, is the liquid's true color. I see. Your explanation does have the ring of truth to it. Objection! As I thought. There's no substitute for experience, Prosecutor Gavin. What? You may tell a good tale, but you've just proven something rather grave. For you, that is. Grave. Take this, grave! The liquid in the IV is yellow, yes. But how did this witness know that? ... It's quite unnatural when you think about it. You did think about it, didn't you? Ah. Ugh. Your Honor, the defense requests an explanation from the witness. At the scene of the crime, the IV liquid appears to be green. So let me ask. How did the witness know that the IV liquid was actually yellow? Allakazoooooooooomg! Oh my gosh! Or OMG, I don't freaking know. What the heck was he saying right there? Allakazoooooooooomg! I don't really know. I don't know if he was trying to go OMG right there or just like, I don't know. I don't know where it went. Order! 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 Mr. Wright, you will explain this at once. The witness clearly knew the color of the IV liquid. So I'm sure it means something. But what? I can think of only one possibility, Your Honor. The witness Valant Grimare has testified that the IV liquid was yellow because he knew he'd seen it before? It looked yellow? What? I don't get it, actually. But sure, why would it look yellow, though? Is there a certain reason why it would look yellow? He's trying to think. Why would it look yellow? Huh. I wonder. He'd seen it before. I don't really know, actually. Am I gonna be guilty, everyone? I hope not. He knew the IV liquid's color. He's seen it before. I'm gonna go with he'd seen it before. From the facts before us, the answer is clear. The witness knew that the IV liquid was yellow. I almost said color. The IV liquid was color. Yeah, that's right, man. Why? Because he'd seen it before. But not inside the blue bag we see in the photo. He saw the liquid by itself, in a clear, colorless bag. I suppose he would have had to, but I'm still not clear as to what all this means. Ask yourself, why would he know if he didn't work at a hospital? That's where you'll find your meaning, Your Honor. I'm afraid I find nothing, so what if he knew the IV liquid's color? Leave the getting excited over absolutely nothing to our teeny bopper fans, yeah? The IV liquid is the only evidence proving the time of death. A 30-minute hourglass with 20 minutes worth of sand remaining. Your claim, Prosecutor Gavin. Jeez, I don't get it. I remember it well. Oh, jeez. This is what being sick does to you sometimes. Also with 84.5 degrees in my room. I don't remember what the judge said now. However, there's a critical difference between an hourglass and an IV bag. Wait, I know. An hourglass uses sand, but an IV bag uses liquid. I'm right? As much as it pains me to say this, Your Honor, no. Unlike the sand through an hourglass, IV liquid enters the patient's body. at which point, like magic, it disappears. However, what if the amount of IV liquid had increased? You couldn't tell, could you? After all, there's no way of knowing how much went in. Let's meet. Oh, I see where he's getting at now, actually. But, whatever. Let me get this straight here, right? You're saying the witness watered down the victim's IV bag? Not with water, but with IV liquid. That's how you knew the IV liquid was yellow. Now wait! Wait! I said wait! How might an amateur such as myself essay to perform such a task? I'm an amateur too, but I can pour water into a cup. I'm afraid there's quite a big difference between a cup and an IV bag. Quite. Can you prove our witness is capable of such a feat? He has a point. Amateurs. What? I don't get it. I at least would have some difficulty pouring IV liquid into that bag. You don't need to be an expert to see the look on the witness's face. He added liquid to that IV bag to throw off the time of death. I tire of these fairy tales lacking evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, any solid evidence to bring us back down to earth? Valence-Grimari, I'm afraid your magic won't serve you well in a life of crime. Might I ask what you're strongly suggesting? Magic relies on props, and props become evidence. Our witness was certainly able to increase the amount of IV liquid in the bag. All he had to do was work a little magic, and the prop was... the syringe? Shall I assume? I mean, what else would it be? There's nothing that would logically make sense here. Anyway, yeah. The victim's syringe. It's the perfect prop for the magically increasing IV trick. And easy enough for an amateur to use. What kind of evidence is that? The syringe was clean, not a trace of liquid in it. And don't you find that odd, Prosecutor Gavin? What? The victim had the syringe to administer his insulin shots. There should have been traces of insulin left inside. ... Well, Valence-Grimari, as you pointed out yourself, the IV liquid makes the perfect clock. One that you can manipulate at will. Allakazoooooooooomg! Oh yeah, that's right, Valence. We got you, but not really. So I'm excited for this. Oh yeah, I do believe. Well, with this being his first, that the burden of this trial has been a bit too much to bear for Prosecutor Gavin. ... I'm afraid that while there is a doubt as to the amount of IV liquid in that bag, the time of death cannot be proven. And that brings our trial to a close for today. Well, maybe I can squeeze an extra day out of this. I can do a little much-needed investigation work. I see there are no objections. Alright. Truly, there's no substitute for experience. Nothing blinds one to the truth so effectively. ... A word to the wise. Underestimate the young, and they'll sweep your feet out from under you. In a way you never ever expected. You see, I know exactly what you're thinking. ... What's he talking about? You say the witness used the syringe to manipulate the level of the IV liquid, but there is no proof. There's no proof he didn't do it either. Yes, quite true. Huh? He's admitting it? Nor was the witness quite as decisive as I'd hoped. This I admit. After all, why linger in the past when the future holds so much? You have something in mind, Prosecutor Gavin? Proof, Herr Judge. I have another way to prove my case. With evidence, no less. What's this? This is the victim, Magnifique Grimari's diary. Diary? After going into the hospital, Magnifi began writing his memoirs, it seems. The story of his birth, his startling debut, and of meeting his disciples. It seems he intended for the last chapter to end, quite appropriately, with his death. Wait, that book doesn't say what the reason was, does it? The reason why his disciples couldn't refuse his last request? Sadly, it does not. What's important here is on the last page. Apparently, the victim wrote in his journal that night, even after the IV had begun at 11 p.m. Let's read it, shall we? Tonight's IV is in. Maybe the last. I leave the rest to them. The first should come soon. This journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Okay. This does appear to have been written just before his death. That depends on his hand, all that. Okay. The court accepts this into evidence. Magnifi's diary added to the court record. Read the very last part with a particular care. Alrighty then, I'll go ahead and do that. Just that then. So, okay. Well, anyway, a memoir of sorts, written in up to just before he died. Documents submitted as evidence by Prosecutor Gavin. Okay, cool. So anyway, how do we open this? Open it, man. Open it. Come on. Come on. You gotta make me rotate this, really? See how it is. Anyway. Okay, let me actually read this. This is the last page. The diary ends here. ... Huh? What's this? It looks like a page was ripped out. Well, now isn't that interesting? You kind of already noticed that, but I'd like to be able to read it, but thanks. Oh well. Javier, I hope you show it to me in better details here. This journal may end here, or it may go on, but not long. That depends on his hand. Of course, by his. He refers to our defendant, Zachramare. That would make sense, yes. He was the first scheduled visitor, after all. Let's look into what he said before that. That depends. Oh my gosh, let me freaking read the other part. This journal may end here, or it may go on. It may go on. The Magnifique Gramari intended to write again. That is, if Zachramare didn't pull the trigger. I see the defense understands the meaning of this. The victim's diary does not go on, it ends. Because Magnifi's life was brought to an end by the defendant, Zachramare. Order! 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 Prosecutor Gavin! Are you certain that Magnifi Gramari wrote this? There is no mistaking his handwriting. Well, this does seem to be significant. According to this, Magnifi did intend to continue his diary. Yet if his diary ended here, which plainly it did, is really no one see the tear in the diary here? Then the one who pulled the trigger was the first visitor, Zachramare. Well, how do you like me now, Herr Wright? Still too green for your taste, hmm? ... He's right about the diary being pretty clear. Still, I find it hard to believe that he'd overlook such an obvious problem with his previous evidence. Well, Mr. Wright, the witness's testimony we heard was lacking. But put together with this evidence, it seems quite sufficient for a case. If the diary is accepted like this, the trial's over. Maybe it's time for me to show them something. Show evidence! I'm left with no choice but to show my own evidence. What? You have some evidence that overturns this diary? It's not too late to rethink this and avoid more embarrassment. Very well. Please show us your evidence, Mr. Wright. Incidentally, don't even think of showing us this diary I've just shown the court. ... Now that we've come this far, I hope you have something a little more decisive. Show us evidence that proves the victim continued writing his diary. Alright, I'd be happy to. Decisive evidence proving that this diary didn't end with this page is... the notebook page. First, take a close look at this diary. Note that the page is clearly been ripped out. What's this? I hadn't noticed that at all. That's why we're still here talking about this. As it just so happens, I have here what I believe to be the missing page. Allaka-I-don't-believe-it! Looking at this page, it's hard to imagine that the first visitor that night shot Magnifi Grimari. That's defense's position. Wait, let me see that. Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. What in Sam Hill? Why, this is the continuation of the victim's diary. Note the torn... No, I'm just kidding. Note the torn edge of the page. It's a perfect match with the torn remains of the last page in Magnifi's diary. Quite remarkable! Would you care to explain what all this means, Herr Attorney? The diary continued after his first visitor came, which means that the victim was still alive after Zach Grimari left, leaving no one to take his life but the second visitor. Valiant Grimari! No! No! The handwriting, too, matches that on the other pages. This is, without a doubt, the genuine article. Order! 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 But wait! That's impossible! That old man couldn't have written that! Yeah, finally. You just couldn't resist, could you, Herr Wright? Resist what? Presenting solid evidence? Herr Judge. Yes, Prosecutor Gavin. Might I request we put the current cross-examination on hold? The prosecution would like to call a new witness. But, Prosecutor Gavin, this evidence overturns the current witnesses. I ask only to put it on hold. Please, my new witness has a very, very important piece of testimony to give. 5 minutes, no more. I promise, Your Honor. Well, if you put it that way, Mr. Wright, what's your take on this? Well, Your Honor, judging from his enthusiasm, we'll have to hear this new testimony sooner or later anyway. So it might as well be sooner. Then, though this is highly, highly irregular, we will put the current cross-examination on hold. The witness may step down. Now, Prosecutor Gavin, please bring this surprise witness to the courtroom. Is it Christoph Gavin? I had a bad feeling that just then. That ripped out page was too obvious. He must have known. Or did... I still didn't get to read it! I wasn't paying attention. And I should have known it was a bad sign all around. Oh... It's... What? I forgot his name already! Oh, the Drew Misham! Freaking... Okay, I got you, I got you. Drew Misham, what are you doing here? Assuming that is you. Is that you, good sir? How old are you now? 37. My gosh. Wait, does that add up? I don't even know. That means he was... 44? Wait. Yeah. Was he 44? I thought he was like... I remember him being like 42 or something. But, oh well. Anyway, what was I doing? I don't remember. I want to look at this again here. I'm going to zoom in on this all the way here. It's probably not going to work, but, you know, I don't know. Why not? It might be a good idea. It might not be. Let's see if I can read this. I want to really see this. No, I really cannot read that. Otherwise, I would have read it earlier, right? Anyway, whatever. Who cares? Let's move on, shall we? Holding a trial with no audience is a first. Even for me, Prosecutor Gavin. I beg the court's understanding. But I had to make a judiciary deal with the witness to secure his testimony. A judiciary deal? The details of his testimony may have some legal ramifications, shall we say. I thought it best to contain information to this room. Very well. And you are the witness, I gather.
Yes, yes, sir.
State your name and occupation for the record.
My name is Drew Misham. I'm a painter.
A painter? And you are somehow related to this case?
No, well, not per se.
I have one simple question for this witness. ... Mr. Misham, was it? Do you know what this is?
Oh, yeah. I know it well.
How is that possible? Have you seen this diary page somewhere before?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I made it.
You what? You made it?
Yes, you might call it one of my works.
The regional prosecutor's office received a tip-off yesterday. Illegal evidence has been prepared for the trial of Zachary. Illegal evidence? I initiated an investigation and found this witness. A painter to the world at large, Drew Misham has another side, you might say. He is skilled in making perfect reproductions of certain things. Forgeries, in other words. Forgeries? Well, so we are to understand that this page here is a fake, prepared by a certain defense attorney. Hold it! That's not what you said. You said objection. I didn't prepare this evidence. Ah, the attorney speaks. Something about this page, I presume, but what is he saying? It makes no sense. After all, it was you who presented this evidence to us, Phoenix, right? Witness. Mr. Misham, was it? Who requested this forgery? Who was your client?
That I do not know.
What?
Most of my clients prefer to remain anonymous, even to me. I make the items they want and receive my payment. That's the extent of my contact with them.
What's his age now? He's 45. My God, he's not old anymore. Painter, summoned to this trial by the authority of Prosecutor Gavin. That's cool. Anyway. But there's no proof this is a fake.
It's a fake.
Huh?
No point, just sort of problem. I always put a special mark on my works. I can say without a doubt, this is mine.
What special mark did he put on it? What is he talking about? Mr. Wright. Yeah, I gotta see this mark for myself, thank you very much. I can't. I literally can't. Okay, whatever, fine. Well, whatever. Mr. Wright, you have just presented illegal evidence to this court. My court. It was careless of me. That's all I can say.
Oh boy! Here!
What's this?
I don't know, I just got it over there in the hall! They told me to give it to the old boy in the blue suit with the spiky hair! They said it was really important!
It was all a trap. A fatal trap. Mr. Wright. Yes? Do you have an explanation for yourself? If I did, would the court hear it? Probably not. Forging evidence is a serious crime, and presenting it in court is a serious mistake. A fatal mistake for an attorney. Fatal too, perhaps, for your client, I fear. ... Tell me, what kind of defendant relies on forged evidence? The answer is quite clear. A guilty one. Your Honor, wait. I understand that presenting forged evidence in court is a serious crime, but you cannot hold my client responsible for actions I undertook as an individual. I am sorry, Mr. Wright. Your Honor? Another close call, I dare say. If the prosecutor's office hadn't received that hot tip, everything would have gone the way you wanted it to, yeah? ... I even gave you a chance. Too bad you decided not to think before embarrassing yourself. I see no need for further discussion on this matter. Special witness dismissed.
Mr. Attorney,
Yes?
could I ask for your name?
Phoenix Wright.
Mr. Wright. I have seen and studied many people, but none like you. I'll remember you, Mr. Wright.
I see. So that's why he remembers me now. Though I deeply regret having to declare a verdict in this way, this trial is over. You have the right to find a new attorney and make an appeal. However, this court must... Your Honor. Yes, Mr. Zack. There's one thing I wish to make clear. Today in this courtroom, you cannot declare me guilty. It is impossible. I'm afraid the defendant is quite mistaken. I most certainly have the authority to declare a verdict on you. Except, tell me, how do you plan on announcing your verdict, when your defendant does not exist? Doesn't exist? What are you talking about? I am talking about this. Okay. Mr. Enigmar? The defendant escaped. Find him, quick. Bailiff, close all exits from the building. On the double, he must not be allowed to escape. Is that really what his plan was? I mean, come on now. That day in that courtroom, a miracle occurred. Defendant Shoddy Enigmar, aka Zack Grimari, did not just escape from court. He literally, unbelievably vanished. Right before the bailiff's eyes. No one ever saw him again, not since that day. This is the Grimari miracle. No verdict was declared. After all, the defendant didn't exist. That's how it happened. The trial magician Zack Grimari vanished along with him for all eternity. The mysteries that remained behind were solved, however. But not until 7 years later. To be continued. Well, that definitely... I mean, it's kind of stupid because he really was not guilty, but... I mean, you know... That's the flaw of the legal system, and that's the stupidity. How is that forged evidence, though? Where did the real page go? I mean, honestly. I don't care if you're a forger. There's no way you could 1-for-1 match his handwriting. You can't do that. You can't. You just can't, man. It's impossible. Well, whatever. Anyway, at the mercy of my own throat, which is progressively getting worse as I'm doing this, I'm going to end today's episode. I mean, we're over 30 minutes anyway. So, at the mercy of that, because it's, like I said, it's getting progressively worse. I'm going to end today's episode, and I'm going to go drink some water. I'm going to drink a lot of water, probably. Maybe I'll do one more episode. I don't want to push it too far here. But, yeah, I don't know. I'll see you all later, everyone. Let me know what you thought about the flashback case. Did you find the events interesting? Did you really believe that? I mean, how is that forged evidence? I guess it is. They said it was! Somehow. It just was. And Trucy was the one who delivered it. And her name is actually Trucy Enigmar. I mean, geez, that doesn't sound right, actually. He's like, oh my gosh, Trucy Wright, man. It's actually Enigmar. You're an Enigmar, Trucy. You're just really an Enigmar. And who would have guessed, really? I don't know. Anyway, everyone, I'll see you all later. Bye!